What kind of special gift did Hyun Bin bring home for Son Ye Jin and little Alkong after his Harbin press conference and fan meeting in Japan? The answer might surprise you. From star-studded stages to quiet family moments, this gesture reveals a side of Hyun Bin fans rarely see. Let's find out. Only here on Red Carpet Revealed. Tokyo shimmered beneath soft spring lights as Hyun Bin stepped out into a sea of flashing cameras and cheering fans. The press conference and fan meeting for Harbin, his much-anticipated historical thriller, had drawn thousands from across Japan. Dressed in a tailored midnight blue suit, Hyun Bin's presence exuded charisma, discipline, and poise, the same qualities that have made him a household name across Asia. But behind the stage lights and meticulously arranged press moments was a different man, a devoted husband and a new father whose heart remained tethered to a quiet home in Seoul. That night, as fans waved signs and called his name, few could have guessed what was quietly unfolding behind the scenes, a plan months in the making, a personal mission, not for the press or public, but for the two people who had transformed his world, Son Ye Jin and their beloved son, Alkong. The heart behind the spotlight. While many anticipated behind-the-scenes gossip or rumors of blockbuster deals, those closest to the actor knew Hyun Bin was more preoccupied with something deeply personal. According to a source within his agency, Vast Entertainment, Hyun Bin has been planning a surprise for his family since the beginning of the Harbin promotions. Not just any souvenir or expensive trinket, but something that symbolized their journey, love, and dreams, a legacy in miniature. The concept of the gift, inspired by Japan's rich artisan culture and his wife's deep appreciation for meaningful keepsakes, Hyun Bin commissioned a handcrafted memory box, a one-of-a-kind heirloom built with fine Japanese inoki wood, a material known not only for its fragrance but for its spiritual significance. The box was created by a master craftsman in Kyoto, who has spent decades preserving traditional woodcraft techniques passed down over generations. Each detail was curated by Hyun Bin himself. Its side was etched with a delicate cherry blossom motif, a nod to the season of his visit and the blossoming love that began with Crash Landing on You. Inside, the box held compartments lined in soft velvet and silk, housing items that spoke volumes without words. Inside the box, a family chronicle. Among the carefully placed contents, a locket with their first ultrasound inside a custom-made silver locket, the very first ultrasound image of Alkong rested. A moment Son Ye Jin once described as the instant my heart doubled in size. A pressed cherry blossom picked from a tree near the fan meeting venue in Tokyo. This simple flower was preserved between glass panes and set in a wooden frame. On the back, Hyun Bin had inscribed, "A moment from today. Every tomorrow with you." A scroll of letters rolled inside a silk case was a set of handwritten letters, one to Son Ye Jin, filled with gratitude for her quiet strength and unwavering love, and another to baby Alkong. Imagining a day far ahead when he would open this box and understand the life and love that shaped his beginnings. A carved wooden music box when wound. It played a soft instrumental rendition of Sigrawal, the bridge theme from Crash Landing on You. Drama that brought Hyun Bin and Son Ye Jin together. The melody, gentle and evocative, turned the act of opening the box into an experience. A miniature film reel symbolizing Harbin. This reel contained behind-the-scenes footage and personal clips from his time in Japan, with a message, "Even at the height of my career, my heart is always with you." A gesture beyond words. By the time Hyun Bin landed back in Seoul, Son Ye Jin and Alkong were already home, unaware of what was waiting. The box, wrapped in handmade washi paper and sealed with a golden ribbon, sat in his carry-on like a precious artifact. He finally presented it to them in their quiet family space. There were no cameras, no applause, only quiet tears and grateful embraces. Son Ye Jin reportedly called it the most thoughtful gift I've ever received. And Alkong? He giggled at the music box, trying to wind it with tiny fingers. This wasn't about luxury or spectacle. It was a reflection of Hyun Bin's core, a man who, even amidst global fame, found his truest joy in giving meaning to moments and love to those closest to him. The memory box became a cherished centerpiece in their home, not just a keepsake, but a living reminder of the quiet vows and loud joys that make up a family's soul. Son Ye Jin, known for her love of photography and personal journaling, placed the box beside a collection of vintage film cameras in her studio. Every now and then, she would open it during her quiet mornings, letting the soft tune of Sigrawal fill the room. Ripples of a private moment. The impact of the gift extended beyond the family. When word of the gesture eventually reached a fan community through a discreet agency blog post, it resonated deeply. It wasn't the value of the gift, but the intention behind it that moved people. Fan pages were soon filled with artistic interpretations, sketches of the box, and heartfelt messages echoing the same theme: love, in its purest form, is timeless. Even though it was never meant to be public, the story of Hyun Bin's gift touched lives, not as celebrity news, but as a universal reminder that even in a world of speed and spectacle, meaning still matters. Son Ye Jin's response. In an interview a few months later, Son Ye Jin was asked if she had a favorite gift from her husband. She paused, smiled, and said, "There's a box in my studio. It holds more than just memories. It holds us." Her words, subtle yet profound, became a quote fans often paired with clips from Crash Landing on You or photos of the couple's few public appearances. The simplicity of her answer captured the spirit of the gift. Not about grandeur, but about grounding, anchoring their love in something tangible, delicate, and enduring. A father's promise. As Alkong began to grow, he became more curious about the objects inside the box. Hyun Bin would occasionally sit with him, opening one compartment at a time. The film reel became a bedtime tradition, not projected, but narrated. "This was Tokyo," Hyun Bin would say. "This is the street where people waved. My mind was on the airplane home." Each item became a starting point for stories of fame, but of family. Hyun Bin wanted Alkong to know that he wasn't just born into a famous legacy, he was born into a thoughtful one. The future of the box. There were talks of adding more keepsakes to the memory box every year, perhaps a letter written on each birthday, a photo from every family vacation, a pressed flower from every spring. It would evolve with their family, becoming a silent witness to their shared timeline. For Hyun Bin, the box wasn't finished. It was only just beginning. Once told a friend, "If I'm lucky, one day Alkong will show this to his child, and say, 'Your grandfather gave us this story.'" A legacy of intention. A world where celebrity relationships are often reduced to rumors and speculation, Hyun Bin and Son Ye Jin's story continues to stand apart, rooted not in performance, but in presence. The gift symbolized everything they had built quietly behind the curtain: devotion, gratitude, and unwavering unity. Hyun Bin's special gift wasn't simply a romantic gesture, it was an act of storytelling, of honoring where they came from and where they were going. As the music box played its gentle tune on yet another quiet evening, a new chapter was being written, not on screen, but in the hearts of a family held together by love, memory,